"Why are you charging us rent for the beach house?" My sister laughed. "I inherited it. They'd been using it free for 11 years. I said calmly, "Because the taxes are $21,000 a year and you've never paid a cent." Dad scoffed. I nodded quietly. That night, I listed it on Airbnb at $950 /night, booked solid in 4 hours. When my sister showed up in July with 6 suitcases and 4 kids, the doorman had a very different kind of message waiting. My sister's oldest had his suitcase halfway up the front steps when he said it. "This is our beach house," he told my daughter. "We're here every summer. You're just visiting." Lily stopped in the middle of the walkway, her little backpack sliding off one shoulder. She was clutching a Ziploc bag full of shells she'd collected the last time we were here. Her project supplies. She called them. I was juggling a cooler in one hand and 2 grocery bags in the other. I heard it, though. Every word. My parents laughed it off from the porch. "Don't be so sensitive, Noah," my mom called. "They're just excited to be back." Lily didn't say anything. She just bent, picked up her backpack, and followed everyone inside, a step behind like she wasn't sure she was allowed to walk at the same pace. I felt my jaw tighten. I swallowed it like I always did. Inside, my sister was already assigning rooms. "Okay, boys in the bunk room, girls in the blue room, mom and dad in the master," she said, tossing keys like she was the one paying for the locks. "Noah, you and Lily can take the pull-out in the den. It's only for 3 nights. You guys don't mind, right?" Lily's face fell for half a second. Then she smoothed it over. She's good at that. Too good. I opened my mouth, closed it. My dad clapped me on the back. "Come on, calm down," he said. "Kids don't care where they sleep. You know this house is for everyone. Everyone, except my kid, apparently." I told myself it was just a sleeping arrangement. Just a comment. Just one more little thing. Then that night after dinner, when they announced the surprise jet ski rental and there were only 6 kid life jackets so Lily could hang back with Grandpa and help clean up, something in me went very, very quiet. She stood at the sliding door and watched the cousins sprint down the boardwalk toward the water, life jackets smacking against their backs, shouting over each other. She didn't cry. She just wrapped her arms around her stomach and leaned her forehead against the glass. "I like cleaning," she said when she caught me looking. "It's okay." It wasn't okay. My hands were shaking around a stack of paper plates. I set them down before I dropped them. I didn't explode. I've seen too much working as a paramedic to waste energy on screaming matches that lead nowhere, but that was the moment I knew something was going to give. I just didn't know how loud it would sound when it finally snapped. I'm Noah. I'm 38. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I've been a paramedic for almost 14 years. I work weird hours, nights, holidays. The days other people call sacred are usually the days I'm backing an ambulance into a bay at 3 a.m. and washing someone else's nightmare off the floor. I have one kid, Lily. She's 9. Quiet, careful, always drawing. Always making little things with her hands. Shell frames, paper stars, tiny clay animals. She's the kind of kid who says thank you to waiters and apologizes when someone bumps into her. Her mom and I split when Lily was 4. We do the shared custody dance. It's not perfect, but we make it work. On my weeks, it's just us. On my off days, I'm either trying to catch up on sleep or fixing whatever's broken in this big, sandy, expensive problem everyone else calls the beach house. The house came from my mom's parents. My grandparents bought it in the 80s when this area was still cheap. When they died, it went to me. Not because I was the favorite, because the others didn't want it once they saw the numbers. Property taxes, $21,037.16 last year. Insurance, $4,800 if the storms are kind. HOA and utilities, another few hundred a month even if no one steps inside. The lawyer slid the folder across the table and my sister actually laughed. "No offense, but hard pass," she said. "That's a money pit. Give it to Noah. He doesn't mind working." They all nodded like it was a generous decision. I signed the papers because my grandfather loved that house and because I'm the kind of idiot who says yes when everyone else backs away. For 11 years, they treated it like a timeshare they forgot to pay into. "Hey, can we use the house next weekend? Hey, my friend's family is in town. Is it okay if they crash there? Hey, you're not coming down for Labor Day, right?" We're already halfway there. They never asked about the tax bill. They never asked about the new roof after the hurricane or the hot water heater that died or the deck boards that rotted and had to be replaced before someone's kid fell through. I paid all of it. On top of that, I paid for other things. My parents' overdue electric bill, my sister Trish's SUV payment the month her husband forgot, my brother Cody's DUI fines, twice. They called it helping out. I called it family. I told myself it was what you did when you were the one who had it together. I had a steady job, decent credit, a second property with my name alone on the deed. On paper, it looked like I was fine. What those papers didn't show was the 3 a.m. panic of checking my account before a mortgage draft hit, or Lily asking why we couldn't go to the aquarium that month because Daddy had grown-up bills again. My parents loved the image of the beach house. They kept a framed photo of it on their mantle. My dad called it the family place. My mom bragged to her friends that the kids had a beach house, even though the tax notice came with my name typed in bold and nobody else's. There were 1,000 small slights over the years. Times Lily's name was forgotten on group texts. Times she got stuck on an air mattress while my sister's kids got the good beds. Times my mom introduced all the grandkids to her friends and just skipped Lily until I cleared my throat. I let it slide. I patched it. I smoothed it over because the alternative meant admitting my own parents were capable of that kind of cruelty. And then my sister asked me a question she thought was a joke, and I realized I was done. The fight started over shrimp and cheap white wine. It was 3 weeks after that jet ski weekend. We were back in my parents' dining room, the one with the sticky leaves that never quite lined up, and the same lace table runner my mom's had since I was 11. The whole family was there. My parents at either end. Trish and her 4 kids. Cody and his girlfriend. Lily next to me, carefully peeling the tails off her shrimp and stacking them in a perfect little pile. I'd sent a message in the family group chat that morning. We need to talk about the beach house. Taxes went up again. I can't keep carrying everything alone. If you want to keep using it as much as you do, I need help. Even $200 a month from each of you would make a dent. No one responded. So I brought it up at dinner. I got the tax bill, I said, trying to make it casual. It's over 21 grand this year. I can't keep doing this by myself if everyone's going to use it like a hotel. Trish laughed. Actually laughed. Wait, she said, wiping the corner of her mouth with a napkin. Are you seriously trying to charge us rent for the beach house? She said rent, like it was a dirty word. The table went quiet. I'm asking, I said, keeping my voice even, for help with the costs. You guys are there more than I am. Dad snorted into his wine. Oh, come on, he said. Don't act like we're draining you dry. You're a paramedic, you've got good benefits. You're single, no one to support but yourself and 1 kid half the time. Lily's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. She stared at her plate. Actually, I said, I have Lily full-time during the school year now. Dad waved a hand like it didn't matter. Point is, you're fine, he said. You inherited that house. We're just making memories. Trish shook her head, still smiling, like I'd told a good joke. Charging us rent, she said again. That's wild. It's a family house, Noah. You can't put a price tag on family. Careful, Mom added, topping off her glass. You don't want to start keeping score. It ruins relationships. Keeping score. Like I hadn't watched thousands of dollars leave my account for their emergencies. Like I didn't have a spreadsheet labeled family on my laptop to make sure my own bills still got paid. I took my wallet out of my pocket and slid something across the table. The latest property tax bill, still folded in thirds. It's $21,037 this year. I said, You've never paid a cent. Dad glanced at it, then pushed it back with 2 fingers. That's life, he said. You got the house. We didn't. It evens out. I nodded slowly. Lily was very still beside me. Her eyes kept flicking between faces like she was trying to gauge how bad it was. Trish leaned back in her chair. You're not really going to make us pay to stay there, she said. Come on, Noah. That's not you. She was right. That hadn't been me. Until that moment, I felt my heart rate spike the way it does when something's about to go sideways on a call. A kind of calm dropped over me. Tunnel vision, but without the panic. I get it, I said. You don't think it's fair? Dad nodded, satisfied like he'd won. That's more like it, he said. I didn't argue. I didn't push. I just finished my meal, drove Lily home, helped her with her homework, and tucked her into bed. Then, around 11:30 p.m., when the house was quiet and my brain wouldn't shut off, I opened my laptop. The beach house wasn't listed anywhere. No VRBO, no Airbnb. Just word-of-mouth bookings through my family. I pulled up Airbnb. List your home, the button said. I clicked it. The whole process took about an hour. Title: Oceanfront Family Home. Walk out to the sand. Photos: the ones I'd taken last spring when I thought about doing exactly this and chickened out. Details: 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, sleeps 10, Wi-Fi fully stocked kitchen, linens included, no smoking, no parties. When it asked for a nightly rate, I hesitated. I typed 950, deleted it. Typed 800, deleted that, landed back on 950. Summer weeks go for more here. I checked. I knew. I set it at $950 a night with a 5-night minimum. Then I did one more thing. I opened the calendar and blocked out 2 weeks in July and 1 in August. Those were for me and Lily. No guests, no extended family, just us. I added my bank account, double-checked the routing number, hit publish. The listing went live at 12:17 a.m. By 4 a.m., it was booked solid for the entire summer. My phone buzzed with each reservation. Cha-ching! July 3rd, 10. Cha-ching! July 12th to 19. Cha-ching! August 1st, 8. I watched the numbers stack up in my sleepy haze, the way I watch a monitor climb on a patient when they finally start stabilizing. When my alarm went off at 6 o'clock for my shift, the only dates left on the calendar were the ones I'd blocked for me and my kid. The fallout didn't start until May. Trish called first. I was in the rig, parked behind the hospital, inhaling cold pizza between calls. I let it go to voicemail, finished eating, and then listened. What, Noah? Her voice was high, breathy with anger. Mom said the house is booked every week this summer. I already told the kids we were going for 2 weeks in July. Why didn't you say anything? Call me back. I texted her instead. I listed the house on Airbnb. I can't afford to keep it empty or only for family use. The calendar's pretty full now. I blocked a couple weeks for me and Lily. That's it. She called again immediately. I stepped out of the rig and answered. You can't do this, she said without hello. I already did, I said. But July is our time, she said. We go every year. Exactly. I said, you go. You don't pay. That's not fair, she snapped. My kids are going to be crushed. My kid was crushed when she got left out of the jet ski trip, I said before I could stop myself. And when she sleeps on a pullout while your kids pick bedrooms in my house. That's different, Trish said instantly. That was just, you know how Dad is. You're really going to punish everyone over a sleeping arrangement. It's not about the pullout, I said. It's about 11 years. She went quiet. I could hear the TV in the background, one of her boys yelling about a video game. So you're what? She said finally. Cutting us out? Cutting your family out? I'm treating the beach house like what it is, I said. A second property that costs over 20 grand a year in taxes alone. If you want to use it, you can book it like everyone else. There was a beat. Oh my God, she said. You're actually serious. You expect me to pay $950 a night for our family beach house? Are you out of your mind? It's my beach house, I said. My name's on the deed. My name's on the tax bill. My name's on the insurance. So yeah, if you want a week in July, it's $950 a night like everyone else. She laughed, short and disbelieving. I'm not giving you that kind of money, she said. We're family, not customers. Then you won't be staying there this summer, I said. She hung up on me. I went back to my shift. People still had heart attacks and car crashes and overdoses. The world didn't care that my family group text was probably on fire. By the time I got off 12 hours later, I had 14 missed calls, 6 from Trish, 2 from my mom, 3 from my dad, 3 from Cody. The group chat was a mess. Mom, we need to talk about this beach thing. Trish, you seriously blindsided us. Cody, Mom's crying. Mom, your sister already requested time off. The kids will be devastated. I scrolled, then typed one message. I'm not your backup bank or your free hotel. You've had 11 summers on my dime. I'm allowed to change how this works. Then I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and made dinner with Lily. The real show started in July. Trish didn't believe me, or she thought I'd cave. Either way, she packed her SUV like she always did. 4 kids, 6 suitcases, a cooler, 3 boogie boards tied on top with a fraying strap. They left their suburb at 8 a.m. and rolled into the beach town around 10:30, right within the check-in window they'd invented in their heads. She didn't know I'd hired a property manager, someone to handle the bookings, the turnovers, the keys, the noise complaints. Part of the fee included a building doorman and on-site check-in. I'd never needed that before. Now, it felt necessary. My phone buzzed with a ring notification as I was finishing a call. Traffic collision, nothing fatal, just a broken wrist and some shook-up college kids. On my break, I checked the camera feed. There they were, Trish, her husband, 4 kids. They walked up to the front door like they owned the siding. The new doorman, Carlos, stepped out from behind the small desk in the lobby. I'd met him once. Nice guy, early 40s, no time for nonsense. We couldn't hear them through the camera, but I didn't need audio to follow the script. Trish smiling, gesturing at the door, Carlos shaking his head, pointing to a clipboard. Her husband stepping in, pulling out his phone like maybe he could scroll his way into a reservation. Carlos pointing up toward the security camera, then at the posted "Registered Guests Only" sign. Trish's face changed. The smile dropped off like a mask falling. She pulled out her phone and called me. I answered. "Tell this guy it's okay," she said without hello. "He won't let us in. He says the unit is occupied." "It is," I said. "I have guests checking in today. They booked months ago." "We're your guests," she snapped. "We come every July." "Not this July," I said. "I told you that." Her voice went shrill. "There are kids in the car," she said. "Do you have any idea how cruel this is? We drove 2 hours. We have food. We have clothes. We planned our entire summer around this." "You planned your summer around a house you don't pay for," I said. "I'm not changing paying guests reservations so you can have another free vacation." She lowered her voice then, that tight, dangerous tone she uses when she wants to sound reasonable but is about to say something awful. "You're really going to embarrass us like this? In front of everyone?" She said. "Mom's friends know we're down here. The kids told all their friends at camp. Do you have any idea how that makes us look? Like people who assume they had access to something they don't own," I said. There was a long pause. "Wow," she said finally. "You've changed." From behind her, one of the kids shouted something about the ocean. Another started crying. "You can get a hotel," I said, softer than I felt. "There are plenty a few blocks inland. Or you can drive home." "But you're not staying in my house." "Your house," she repeated. "Grandma and Grandpa bought this. It's for the family." "Grandma and Grandpa left it to me," I said. "The rest of you made a choice when you said you didn't want the responsibility. Remember?" Silence again. "Trish," I added, "I'm at work. I have to go." I heard her inhale sharply. "This isn't over," she said, and hung up. I watched, through the tiny camera window, as Carlos gave them a small, apologetic shrug. Trish said something I was glad I couldn't hear. Then they turned around, loaded the kids back into the SUV, and drove away. I put my phone back in my pocket and answered the next call out. They didn't come to my house. I half expected them to show up and stage some kind of driveway intervention. Instead, my parents did what they always do. They went quiet. Then they went guilty. Mom texted that night, "Your sister is devastated. The kids are heartbroken." "This is not how family treats each other," I replied. "Family doesn't use one person as a free vacation fund and then tell his kid she's just visiting in his own house." She didn't answer. Dad called the next day. "I'm not going to yell," he said. "I just want to talk like adults." "Okay, you're making your mother sick. She hasn't slept. The kids are crying. Trish is a wreck. Over what? Some money? You can't take it with you." "It's not about the money," I said. "It's about respect. That house is part of our family history," he snapped. "Your grandparents would roll over in their graves. We raised you better than this." "Grandpa asked me to keep it from being sold," I said. "He didn't say I had to give everyone unlimited free access while I work myself into the ground." "You're really going to choose money over family?" "I'm choosing my daughter over being your wallet," I said. "And my sanity over your entitlement." He hung up. A few hours later, Cody texted. "For what it's worth, I get it. I should have said something earlier. I've been taking advantage too." Then Nina. "Proud of you. Took guts. Also, DM me that Airbnb link." I laughed for the first time in days. I didn't cut my parents off from everything. I just stopped being their emergency fund. No more surprise bills, no more favor, calls, no more automatic yes. I didn't stop them from seeing Lily. They stopped themselves. 2 weeks went by with no calls, no "how's your summer?" Nothing. Lily noticed, of course. "So it's just us?" she asked one afternoon in late July, sitting over a half-finished seashell drawing. "It's just us," I said. Next week. Our blocked-off week had finally arrived. I thought about renting it out too, but every time I pictured her forehead pressed against that glass door, saying, "I like cleaning," the answer was no. We drove down on a Monday. No cousins, no grandparents, no second SUV full of drama. Just my beat-up truck, her backpack, a cooler, and one bin of art supplies. Carlos, the doorman, smiled when he saw us. "Hey man, you're the owner, right?" "Yeah. Had some interesting visitors a few weeks ago," he said, grinning. "I heard. Thanks for handling it. Guests are whoever's on the list." That's the job. In the elevator, Lily slipped her hand into mine. "Are we going to have to sleep on the couch?" she asked. "Nope," I said. "You pick any room you want." "Any room?" "Any room." She chose the blue one, the girls' room, the one my sister always claimed. She lined her stuffed animals on the pillow and spread her markers on the dresser like a tiny studio. The house felt different without everyone else's noise. Quieter. Bigger. Ours. In the hallway, I stopped at the photo wall my mom had started. My grandparents on the porch, my parents on the sand, my sister's kids at every age. Lily was in exactly 2 pictures, once half cut off, once turned away, watching the waves. I stood there a long time, then pulled out the step stool. "Hey, Bug," I called. She patted over. "Yeah? Want to help me with something?" We took the frames down, one by one, not smashing them, just stacking them in a box. "What are we doing?" she asked. "Making some space," I said. When the wall was bare, I hung a new frame I'd brought, a photo of Lily on my shoulders at the public beach near our apartment, both of us laughing. "There," I said. "Now it looks like the people who actually live with the consequences of this place are on the wall." She studied it. "Do I look weird?" "You look happy," she smiled. "Can we put my shell frame up too?" She dug out the Ziploc from months ago. Inside was the cardboard frame she'd made, painted blue and edged with tiny shells. In the corner, in her careful handwriting, it said Beach House. "I made it for Grandma," she said quietly. But she never took it. I just kept it. "Yeah," I said, my throat tight. "We're definitely putting that up." We hung it under our photo, 2 small pieces of proof that this wasn't just a free hotel. It was part of our actual, messy, expensive, real life. The rest of the week was simple. We woke up when we wanted, ate cereal for dinner one night, grilled fish the next, watched movies with the screen door open so we could hear the ocean, played a dumb card game until Lily laughed so hard she fell off the couch. On the last night, we sat on the deck under cheap fairy lights I'd wrapped around the railing. "I like it better like this," she said. "Like what?" "When it's just ours, when I don't feel like I'm in someone else's house." I looked out at the water. "It is ours," I said, "even if other people don't treat it that way." She nodded, satisfied.